Greetings. For all who don't know me, I go by Miss Body Goddess, but my government name is Margot Turner. I was sent forth as a messenger to deliver this message. This should only be confirmation to many of you already. Um, I want to get this out the way. At this time, I have no religious affiliation. At this time, I'm just spiritual, just to let you know. Um, I heard in the spirit when I was getting the download for this message to deliver this forth. And I'm like, Spirit, I've known many of your people have heard these things already at different times. And Spirit had to get me straight and was like, just like you, they're hard headed and they have to hear it several times to take heed. So I am the first partaker of any word that I receive. So let's get that clear. So this should be only confirmation. Like I said, delivering this message. This is a season of preparation. This is a 7-year cycle, as Spirit had let me know. This was indicated from back in the day from the pandemic, where it was a time frame where we have to know that cycles, history is just cycles, and we are in a 7-year cycle at this time. All empires may have to rise and fall. That's part of history, that's part of cycles, and at this time, we know that the America, the United States, has to fall from the greatness from which it was. We have to know that the forefathers, the seeds that they planted for this country, has to come back. It has to come back. As seed times harvest in reverse. You have to reap what you sow. That's just spiritual law. This message is confirmation, as you already know. You can prep, you could buy the supplies, you could buy the passports, and you could say buy all kind of things to protect yourself. And you have that right, you're supposed to. But the main theme is, what did you learn the last time when these situations came around during the pandemic? What did you learn? Yes, it can be a time of despair, and it was for many. But for many, it was a time for triumph. So the same things that could take place back then could take place back now in this rotation, in this timeline. So your experience could be contingent on the timeline that you're on, that the dimension that you reside in, and what frequency you display at this time. I envisioned, just like in biblical times, where all kinds of things could be going around you when the plague would happen and their doors are marked with blood, and the plague would pass over those doors. And as a reference, as it says in Psalms 91, verse 7, 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. It shall not come nigh thee. Just like the pandemic was a time to launch businesses and debut entrepreneurs, this too is a time such as this. Entrepreneurs who are already in businesses, you may need to take your business into a fresh, new perspective and direction. To use new innovation and to get fresh, new eyes on you and your business. Because people who didn't know that they even needed you shall. They will need you. Do be open in hearing God in this manner. Some of you may need to pray and fast for this to be revealed to you. This new renovation and revelation in reference to your businesses and even yourself as a whole. I hear the Spirit of the Lord saying that a lot of you need to focus on your health and fitness like never before. That you not only need to exercise and eat better, but you may need to grow your own food and to go to trusted farmers and farmers markets for your food if you can do so. Now, if you can't, just continue to bless your food and your situation. God is calling some of you to be leaders and organize in your local communities because you will be needed. You shall not sit on this. I encourage a lot of you to get to know your neighbors. I encourage you to reach out to close family and friends if you haven't already, to build strategic plans in this time, to know where each other is at all times. So if anything comes down the wire or the pipeline, you would know what to expect of each other. Know who you labor amongst, because we are all we got. Make sure you have canned goods and water as backup. If you can and already don't have a passport, get one. It's good to have options. Some are called to leave the country, but many are led to stay. Some will be between the two options. Have and move accordingly. God is birthing six-figure earners and millionaires, but you have to walk in obedience and implement and execute when told. Don't wait, don't sit on anything. I'm hearing a lot of you are already prepared enough at this time. You're already prepared. You're already prepared. You're overthinking. Go forth. Go forth, I'm hearing. To go forth, and you don't have to write it down anymore. You can write it down, but implement. A lot of you have been going through God's training school already. You're already prepared. This is also a time to be a conservative spender, save and invest. Rinse and repeat. Save and then invest. Save and invest. Not a lot of heavy spending. Not a lot of splurging at this time. Pray about it. Seek counsel to see what's needed at this time. Like said earlier, this is a 7-year cycle. In reference to accordance to the pandemic and what it took place, it shall be a mirror in a lot of ways. And depending on the lessons you learned, then will be the outcome now. And when Spirit led me to look up 7-year cycles, it referenced Rudolf Steiner and Waldorf phases as the reference of 7-year cycles, as ancient modern frameworks proposing that human lives, bodies, and development unfold in distinct, predictable 7-year phases, spanning physical growth, psychological milestones, and spiritual shifts, each cycle emphasizing shedding old habits to embrace new emotional or intellectual capacities. In the Judeo-Christian traditions, such as the Sabbath year, also, which calls for release and rest. What do you need to release to move forward, to progress? It is said that we as humans develop and is a new whole person every 7 years. How will you walk in this? I declare and decree at the sound of my voice that everyone that shall hear this will come forth as pure gold. Your youth will be renewed like the eagles, as said in Psalms 103:5. Wealth and riches shall be in his house, and his righteousness shall endure forever. I speak total restoration and healing from the top of your head to the soles of your feet. That you would seek God in your private time and heed this as confirmation and go forth from there. Some of you already know this, but you haven't moved. And God says move. And you know this in your spirit. So go forth and don't delay. Stay blessed and know that you are the one. Peace, ashe, and blessings.